Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Blessing, and today we're going to talk about things I thought I knew I had to learn in marriage. So sometimes I wonder why we're giving certificates before we actually start the very marriage. You get to prove yourself inside of the marriage. It's not like a normal conventional school where you have obtained your degrees and you now are given a certificate. In marriage, you get to learn some of the nitty-gritties inside of the union. I've been married a little over 5 years. One of the things that a lot of us married folks want to feel like, even in a normal human relationship, one of the things we want to feel is a feeling of connection. Like we want to feel connected to our spouse, our friends, our acquaintance, like everybody. You want to feel this connection. To feel connected to your spouse, either your husband or your wife, you have to have a conversation. Yes, you have to have a conversation because I am an introverted extrovert and I am married to an introvert. And from my own observation from this part of the world where I come from, Nigeria, our men don't like talking, like they don't like telling you what they feel. They want to tell you what they think. And I think to an extent, judging from the books I've read, it's almost universal that a lot of men tell you what they feel, they think, and not what they feel. And women say what they feel and not what they think. Now, coming to a marriage situation, it's more like we're on two opposite angles, right? But to have that feeling of connection, to feel connected to your spouse, you really need to have this, no holds back kind of conversation, like where we come to say what we feel, we come to say what we think, and what our expectations is in the marriage. Like we really stated what we wanted, like as individuals. You get, for you to feel connected, it's not the physical connection. No, you have to be connected on a deeper kind of level, and that kind of connection is usually achieved when you really very open about all of the issues, all of your fantasies, all of everything that you want out of the marriage. Do you understand? Not like your desires and all should be at the detriment of the other person. It's more like coming to have a conversation, sit down face to face, no distraction, nobody, and you bear your mind, I bear my mind, and we arrive at a conclusion. Having conversations in marriage truly bridges that gap and makes you feel connected to your spouse. Another thing that I also learned is that most times we want to have more joy and fun with our partners, right? We want to have joy and fun, but in order to have this joy and fun that we have to work truly to repair from arguments. Even the Bible says that offenses will surely come. So argument is not something you can totally avoid in marriage, except you are living with a robot, because in one way or the other we'll just have to argue about something. So I feel that this argument sometimes can actually be some of the things that spices your marriage if you're not insultive and if you're not abusive with the argument. You can actually have some kind of mature arguments, but couple will always argue in marriage, and that is that. In the heat of this argument, sometimes you say some things that will hurt the other person's feelings, and it's not, sometimes, most of the time, it's not intentional. And at times you may not really know that, okay, this thing offended this person, and being that it's not intentional, I think I learned that repairing from argument will actually make you have more fun. Imagine when you want to play, you want to gist, you want to do a lot of things, and the other person is not feeling up to it because you said something that hurts their feelings. Honestly, to be fair to the other person, you will just have to repair from it. A simple I am sorry, saying sorry in the language the other person understands, actually helps to repair, from the hurts, from the feeling of hurt and all of that the person must have felt. I'm saying say sorry in the language that the other person understands. Because sometimes saying I'm sorry does not fix it for some other people. So this person is a person you choose to spend life with. So you also have to invest in knowing how to fix things with this person. I would recommend you read this book, Five Languages of Apology by Gary Chapman. Sometimes you may be genuinely sorry, and because you're not saying this, you're not apologizing in the language that this person understands as being genuine, the person might actually get angry, and don't blame them. It's their life. Then again, another thing I learned is that we want stronger communications with our partner, right? We want stronger communication. We want to be able to know this, have this level of communication that when you look at the other person, that person already knows what you're saying. Sometimes we just make eye contact and the other person already knows what you're saying, or even when you're making some statement, the person can actually complete it. Want strong communication, right? So to have this level of stronger communication, you have to work on yourself as an individual. Yes, you have to work on yourself as an individual. So I had this problem because I used to think that we have to work on ourselves as a team, but no, it has to be an individual thing. We want to have stronger communication. How am I even talking to you? Do you get? What is the body language with which you're communicating with your spouse? What is your tone? What is your choice of language? What is your choice of, your choice of words? All of these things are the ingredients that makes up this communication. So sometimes we make mistake. I would say I made the mistake of thinking that my spouse had to work on himself, but actually that's not being fair. I also will have to work on myself as an individual, because it is very easy to get used to your spouse and forget that they are your spouse. Other times it might just be that you're transferring aggression, from something that happened outside, a thought. Sometimes it can even be like from your past and all of that, to just transfer aggression. So to get this stronger level of communication that you so desire in marriage, and I wish that you have it, is that you have to work on yourself as an individual, both the man and the woman. So another thing I know is that we want to have more intimacy with our spouse. We all want that level of intimacy, more intimacy with our spouse and all of that. So to have this level of deeper intimacy or more intimacy with our spouse, we have to be vulnerable to each other. Woo! Vulnerability in marriage relationship is not something you can, it's not something that you can actually do without, because even the Bible said that they were naked, the man and his wife, and they were not ashamed. If you have chosen to get married, that means you have chosen to be very, very vulnerable and open to the other person. For somebody who is very private and protective of themselves, vulnerability is not something that comes easy for them. And even for those that think that they are very open, you can actually be very open and not vulnerable, except you don't trust this person. I don't think you should marry a person you don't trust, a person you're not vulnerable with. So you don't have to put up the face with this person. You can go outside and put up your face. So you can go outside and do all of the things you want to do at work. You put up the macho man, the strong woman vibes at work, outside, and all of that. But when it comes to the person you have vowed forever with, no, you just have to be very vulnerable. And when you are very vulnerable with the person, you find out that you people become more intimate with each other. You achieve this level of intimacy that you don't know you could achieve, and that's the beauty of marriage. You'll be very vulnerable financially, materially, intellectually, and otherwise. Bible said that they were naked and they were not ashamed. And I think that's the whole bedrock of marriage, being very vulnerable with your spouse. No matter how silly you think it is, you guys just laugh about it. And that's the essence of friendship. That's the essence of marriage. Choosing to be vulnerable with that one person on planet Earth, right? I think that's for today. Please subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.